Oh, uh, burning a little sage this morning. Been doing that the past several days, getting back in a routine, doing a little morning meditations, morning walkings. I've only walked once this morning. Um, let's see. And then I'm going to attempt today to not pay attention to too much whether anybody's watching or not. That's what I did yesterday. Of course, you see when people tune in. If someone comes in into the chat or something, um, people will see, or I'll see that someone's there. But as far as like, I'm trying to train myself to not be paying attention to, uh, is there anybody watching yet? Like, just go with it. Just start the stream and jump right in, just kind of talking or contemplating while there's a space of time before anybody might show up. What's up, Swill Billy? I don't know if you heard that few minutes there. I was just saying, yesterday I I did a stream and it had been a little while and I just did it by myself. Didn't do it through Restream. But yesterday I just kind of started right from the get-go of like trying to fill the space from the time you start to whenever people show up. Because I have a bad habit of sometimes starting a stream and thinking I've got to try to find something, or you know what I mean? Like I'll be trying to fill the time while there's nobody there. Like either me just babbling on. Yeah, like sometimes it's like me going, well, it's like thinking in my mind, okay, what can I do for the first 10 or 15 minutes? Because sometimes you start a stream and there's like, whoa, shit. Uh-oh. Oh, shit. Okay, guys, hold on a minute. God darn it. My, I did not realize that sage got that hot. I hope there's no glass on the. I just let me turn the camera around. I'll show you what just happened. I put the sage in. Of course, the sage wasn't tight as tight. It's burning hotter. It was looser. It's burning hotter. But I've set it down in this glass ashtray a million times, and nothing like this. It had never happened. So anyway, just to kind of where's it at here? So that's what just happened. If you heard that cling, that little ding, ding, or whatever, yeah, I was burning the sage. I'd been burning the sage. I very often set it down in that ashtray, and nothing like that's ever happened. It must have been burning. Well, the fan's kind of circulating here. You can see where I got the sage on the edge of the table now. I'm gonna have to disperse of that. Give me a second here. I'm gonna turn the camera back around, even though it's. Okay, hold on a minute. There, I'm not going to be right here in front just yet, or for a second, but let me try to. I don't think any small pieces of glass. It's just like it broke in big chunks. Here, I'll just kind of do this. That was a little throw that kind of threw me off there. Yeah, I imagine I just wasn't thinking about, because usually when I'm burning the sage, it's still there's a little bit of few pieces on the table, but because I'm barefoot right now, that's the only reason I was kind of thinking. I hope nothing is necessarily, I hope nothing. I don't think anything like too bad is like in the floor. It wasn't like a bunch of shattering pieces. It just kind of went clank, and you saw most of it was still in a big chunks. So anyway, I hope you're doing all right, Swill Billy. And I'm using Restream today. I don't have my arm in my sling right now. I was thinking about putting it in the sling before I got on here, and I might still put it in the sling. Like if you hadn't been aware, I've been dealing with like some fucked up, little bit of pain in my left arm and my left shoulder. I went to the hospital a few weeks ago. Hell, it's been about a month ago, I guess. I went to the ER. They didn't really figure out anything, but like there's something wrong with the muscle here in the bicep on my left arm. And so ultimately, I don't know if hold on a minute, let's see if you can see. Like when I make a muscle, it pokes out. It's almost like there's something. I think the outer layer is ripped, but of course the ER couldn't figure it out and tell me for certain. And then I had an appointment that I was supposed to go to for a doctor that specializes in that to tell me to be able to look at it and do like a MRI or whatever the hell they got to do to look in there at the muscle and see what's going on. But so I missed that appointment. Then I've reset up an appointment. I have another appointment that comes up this coming Tuesday. Hopefully I get to keep that and everything. I think Tuesday is also my next payday. But the thing is just having the ride set up. I'm hoping my neighbor is the one that can take me, and usually I get paid before, like my appointment's at 1. So hopefully everything works out. She don't have nothing she has to do. She can take me and run me around on payday. But at 1 o'clock, I can be over at the doctor and have them look at it, run a test, whatever. It is getting better. Give me a second here. I need to. Okay, let me think. There's there it is. This will work better. See, I have this brass. Goodness gracious, dude. Somehow I damn cut my damn. I guess I cut my finger. I don't know. I guess dealing with the. I don't think I cut it. I think it just. I don't know what happened, but I'm bleeding. My finger bleeding. It ain't from that glass. I don't think. Okay, my mind's getting thrown off here. But I'm gonna try to put what's left of this sage into this brass ashtray. There we go. So I was kind of just catching you up on why I was talking about a sling. So the hospital, because I'd been last year I pulled the muscle. I thought I pulled it, or maybe even ripped it, moving my refrigerator around for like trying to just adjust it. I knew something was wrong, and it definitely don't look right. The bicep is it just looks weird. You can tell there's some strain there. So I don't know if it's twisted, if it's ripped, what the fuck. Basically, like I said, the ER was they did an x-ray, but they didn't I guess there would have to have been something extremely going on for them to do some other tests to get down in there to look at the muscle itself. Because the guy just kept saying, you do need to follow up and see an orthopedic, and then they can run, you know what I mean? They can do a more extensive test that's not just an x-ray, because an x-ray is just going to show the bone and stuff. So they just that's really all it was. And then, but giving me this sling helped, because during the day, like when I go for walks, I put it on, which I did earlier. And then sometimes when I'm like yesterday when I was streaming, I didn't have it on, but I had already walked and been in it for a while. But right before we went live right now, right before I went live, I kind of thought that maybe I should have it in my sling for a little while, because I get going live, man. I get live and let's say I'm using Restream right now. I didn't share a link or anything, but if somebody was to come in and, for instance, if somebody came on, if somebody was to pop in and be in the chat and, it's somebody that we've had on here before as a, someone's popped on as a guest or whatever. If someone shows up and they're like, "Hey man, what are you doing?" Because right now I'm just kind of winging it. And I think what I'm trying to set myself for is if I'm going to do a live stream, whether I have anybody on with me or not, I need to try to stick to like a bare minimum of an hour. Like the other day, it went over a little over an hour yesterday, but it was a good stream and it was just me by myself. But a few people listened, a few people chimed in the chat. Yeah, like it's been kind of like at first when this arm thing started happening, it was really affected me. Like I was doing pretty good on my drinking and everything, but then but the pain and stuff was like getting crucial. And then so I did go to the yard. Nothing really came of that. And then that following week, I missed that appointment. And then I started dealing with the pain in the wrong way, like for 3 days. And then that led me into kind of like, like just kind of a little bit of a lurky, dark, just a little bit of a dark area in the head. I appreciate you stopping by, though. I know that it's been a little while back, but I remember sharing that little short that I don't know when you made it. Sometimes I don't think about necessarily, sometimes people's things don't always pop up in your feed unless you like consciously are looking for it. But like that one where you threw that dummy off the bridge and stuff or whatever, I thought that was funny. Some people don't get like sometimes some humor people don't get. And some people think that some things can't be joked about. And I think there's a time and place for everything. Depending on the situation, like sometimes you might not want to necessarily make a joke about certain things. But if we're all like in a situation where we're just all like having a good time, sometimes anything's on the table to me. Like, it's kind of like, anything can be like kind of poked fun at. Just depending on the circumstance. So yeah, I'm really not sure where. Like I kind of just started. Like I said, I just went with it. I went live. I set it up for a few minutes. Like I set this up 15 minutes before I came on. And like I said, I almost just went through the YouTube app like I did yesterday, and that's how I used to do all my streams. But I was like, well, this, I could get on here and it turned into a stream where like we've been streaming, like, you know what I mean? Like to me, like a good stream is like when I'm 30 minutes, 40 minutes in, and it doesn't even seem like it's been 5 minutes, but because like either the conversation is going, like I'm talking, maybe I'm just by myself, but there's somebody in the chat and they're bouncing off of whatever I'm saying. Or if you have somebody on here with you, like just kind of banter back and forth. But I've been doing a lot of introspection, like a lot of just deep diving in my own. Ever since a few weeks ago, like I said, I went through that. There was like 3 days that I didn't handle well. I was trying to avoid even just avoid the whole entire day, all in general, and that just led to like the usual darkness and the usual like kicking myself in the ass and going, "Whoa, what are you doing?" To lead me back to where it is I like to be in my head, in my spiritual understanding, and then to see where I'm at right now. Like I'm kind of like just in a chipper mood altogether. Restream is just, from what I understand, like I'm just using it. Like, I'm streaming on YouTube, and I've never used Twitch, but StreamYard or Restream is pretty much like a StreamYard. And so it's not like, I don't think, like you can go into Restream and not even be live on any channel, I guess, and be streaming or being in your studio. Um, so I'm still navigating and learning. I just started using Restream a few months back as the main thing, because it's like, if for the free version, it's unlimited stream time. Like now it's like limited down to, like, I think the highest um, pixel rate or whatever is 720 or something. I don't know how you determine all that, but you know what I mean? It's like, so if I was paying for the service, then I'd probably have better quality video from it, but it's still not too bad. And everything seems to work pretty well. Donuts. If your Uncle Jack helped you off a horse, would you help your Uncle Jack off a horse? uh, I don't know. That seems like it could be like more than one man type of thing, couldn't it? Because a horse, is pretty long, slong down. I could laugh at things. The way you worded that's pretty good too. Because I'm not going through the YouTube app, but I do have it set where, like, sometimes I'll be in here and restream, and somebody will be trying to say something in the chat that's funny, and it might be a little vulgar or whatever. Like, that wasn't really, like, unless you know the context. But you know what I'm saying? Sometimes I've had people trying to say something, and I wouldn't, like, I'll see their message here because I'm on Restream. It'll show me the message, but on the YouTube, it'll like block it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if I'm not over there, or like there's nobody, like, I have it set where, and then someone explained to me that YouTube's been bad about that lately anyway. Like, they just automatically, the AI or whatever, fucking, like, if someone just happens to say something that it thinks is like inappropriate, it'll hold it. But I'm just trying to let anybody know that usually that's not out of my doing. The only time that I would like do something like that is if someone being completely rude to other people. Yeah, I don't recognize the name, but I'm glad that they showed up, and I've got a fucking sense of humor, It's like I read it. You could see me reading it, and I kind of read it slowly out loud, a little bit out loud, but not completely out loud, because I seen where he was going with it, which is fine with me. Because the question is, if your Uncle Jack helped you off of the horse, would you help your Uncle Jack off? In the actual question would be like, what would be answered? The truthful answer would, like, I would like to think that someone would help their uncle out. But then if we were talking about actually, what some people do because there are people that do that to horses and cows and different fucking animals and shit, like breeders or whatever. See, I'm overanalyzing a fucking joke, and also I realize I'm cussing a little bit, but that's fine. Gray Cloud has never said that he was completely. I went through a little period here recently where, like, I feel like some people might be having some other image of me based on some of the videos I made. Like all the Jesus Calling videos and stuff. I think some people could maybe indirectly think that they think I'm like some type of formulated straight line person, where, like, I'm just a person that's just in a, Anyway, I hope I didn't scare off Donuts. I hope that I appreciate you being here, though, even if it was just for a minute. That's cool, though. Somebody that either I have now, I can't say that you know what I mean. Like, I've never seen them necessarily in the chat, or don't know if they've ever, and maybe they just found out because you just happened to share it or something. But Oh. So I'm kind of all over the place this morning. I need to get me something else to drink. I think I'll just do a water this time. I'll be right back. It's kind of warming up a little bit. Oh, yeah, I'll get water. But yeah. So I've been doing the past this past. See, what is he? I stream 24/7. I'm watching you on my stream, and Donuts is my dude watching you through my stream. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, you have like a. Are you saying you're on a stream right now? You're streaming on Twitch, I guess, but you're also watching my stream, or you're like, okay. Well, I mean, no, I mean, I don't know. I guess that's what you're meaning. That's pretty cool. No, I mean it's cool because, like, you know what I'm saying. Are you like? What is your stream doing? Like, well, because I don't, like I said, I'm just on a phone. I've already got enough apps on my damn phone and shit. Like here recently, a while back, I downloaded Discord and stuff because I'm in a couple of their things. But it's like I don't even keep up with it, but I have it. I'm trying to work on towards moving back toward or I'm trying to come up with game plans that hopefully in the next month or two I'll have some different. I'll kind of like have some improvements to my situation in general, but also to just the way I do my channel. You know what I mean? Like whether like hopefully have a kind of like a some kind of system set up other than just a phone. Like back to something that I really never had, but I briefly had the opportunity last year and then squandered it. But you know what I mean? Like try to get back to I mean, I've had computers before, but try to get to where I have some sort of setup, whether it be a laptop, a desktop, preferably a laptop, something that's portable. But then go from there. You know, once I have that kind of thing, then proceed get Wi-Fi here because I don't use Wi-Fi here or nothing. Okay, yeah. That's what I was curious if you were playing any games right now. If that's like, are you in the middle of playing a game? No, wait, you're watching the stream or you're streaming, but you're like catching up. You saw that I was live. Okay. That's cool though. Um, I need to break. Well, I'm also right now. I'm personally trying to just focus on whatever. Like, I'm trying to. There's some in the past week. In the past week, I feel like all of a sudden I feel like I'm starting to catch something. I'm starting to understand that maybe for the past few years I wasn't quite as aware or awake as I thought I was in my where I was at spiritually. I feel like I'm probably got stagnant and kind of complacent with some things. And so the past 5 days, especially, a lot has just been really processing in a good way rather than a negative way. Like I'm not, I'm not like, I'm not trying to avoid the day. I'm trying to like at least handle and move through the day accordingly. And I'm also working on like trying not to force too much, just like, and it seems like certain things are just kind of falling into place. It's like things are just naturally, I'm just naturally doing certain things every day at certain times, a certain way. And it's like, it feels more natural. It feels natural again. It feels good. You're a good dude, but man, we still all like you. Oh, I thought you meant we. I thought I read we still all like you, and I thought, what I fucking do? No, I got you, man. I'm trying to. Like You see how I'm talking today? Now, if if somebody was on here with me, it'd be different. Which I don't necessarily need like someone on. Like that wasn't my intention. I kind of just went with restream in case, like it's not a big deal. Because uh, I'd rather just I do enjoy just getting on and kind of going with it. Uh, but you've watched me for a little while. Like sometimes when I'm streaming, it can go from us, depending on if someone's here, we might talk about something that's just like not all that deep, and then all of a sudden it change into something deep, and then it go back into something that's like more superficial or something, like I have been doing. I'm trying to keep. I've got like kind of a backlog of some comic books and stuff. You know that you've watched several streams, and I've shown off. That over the past few years, I've gotten back into. I enjoy when I can to pick up a few comics here and there, and like to actually read them, especially if they're anything that is interesting to me. So I've been doing that too. Like it's like been a combination of the past week of reading. I've recently started Dark Night of the Soul. Let me see here. What did you say? Yeah, man. Even if someone isn't here at the time, at least they'll see the video later. It's meaningful for sure. Oh, thanks. Yeah, and that's how. Like yesterday, I found myself streaming and approaching it, and like I said, that's how I'm doing today. It's just this kind of I just kind of yesterday, like I said, I just went with it and I didn't pay attention to, okay, there's one person watching me. There's two people watching me. There's three people watching me. Okay, there's three people watching and nobody's saying anything. And da 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 da. I do that a lot. And that can, and so yesterday it dawned on me, just stream and just go with it. And if there's people there, acknowledge it if you need to. If not, don't worry about it. And a lot came out, and it just came out like it was supposed to. Like I said, of course, because you weren't there yesterday, but I've been talking about it over the past few days. So I've also started the other day, and this is like I'm all about halfway through this. But Carl Jung, the undiscovered self, some good introspection types, and just some of the questions that are going on here are really interesting and good. The Dark Night of the Soul was something, that St. John of the Cross wrote. But this is more like it is Dark Night of the Soul, but there's a lot of breaking down in it. So it's interesting to me because at first I was like, man, this reads hard. But as I got a little further into it, I'm like, okay, it's just I got to digest it in pieces. Like I can't. It's kind of like studying maybe a book if you were in school or something. Not quite that boring, but like just a lot to process in a short amount of time. So I'm having to, adjust to reading that kind of reading type material as opposed to some of the other spiritual stuff I read that's like kind of more free flowing. Been delving into the Fifth Agreement. Let's see. That's what I do. Oh, okay. But on top of, and I've been juggling between, like, I'm not doing, I'm not getting up every morning and doing a video called Jesus Calling now. Like in the mornings, if I make a video, like yesterday, I didn't necessarily make a video where I was talking into the camera, but I shared a couple of things and I did that live stream. But like I've gotten to where like more like I'm gauging on what needs to be said or what I might particularly share. And sometimes it might be from a devotional, or it might be from a different book. It might not even be from a book. I'm kind of finding myself being led back to a more free form of how I'm doing things. Uh, and that's cool. It feels good. It is nice to have something that's kind of routine though. Like at some point I will probably do, like find another particular thing that I want to share from beginning to end and do segments at a time, like videos, whether they're daily or not, at least several times a week on that particular book or whatever I'm reading. Okay. Just do your thing. Some people might just be doing something else and want something to play in the background. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's for sure. Uh, I'm realizing that like there's several people that sometimes that are watching or they're not watching but they're listening because of they're also busy and doing something, but they can put it up. It's not like we're even if I had a guest on here, we're not like pulling up a bunch of stuff where like sometimes you might have a stream where you're watching and there's a lot of stuff you need to see also, but then there's some where you can just listen to whatever the hell they're talking about. And it's not always necessary for people. Yeah, but I get what you're saying because you're referring back to what I was meaning. And I used to be a little bit more self-conscious and like, so yesterday it was like, it worked pretty well to just kind of, I'm just kind of letting things kind of go. Like I said this earlier to somebody, I'm letting my day navigate itself in a way, if that makes any sense. Yeah. So, but then, like I said, in between reading some of the deep stuff and things that are getting my brain to, what I was kind of getting to was if you hadn't seen or caught that over the past week or so, I've shared that I feel, and I don't know if I've already said this, but I'm going to say it again. I feel like maybe I was in a slumber. I've been in a semi state of like where I thought I was more aware than I am, but like I'm just now becoming re-aware of some things. Like, and it's a good feeling. So it's like I'm discovering some new thoughts and processes, but a lot of it's stuff that I've already been through and have utilized at some point in my life. But at some point, these things have been lying dormant. Just things that used to be like that work, to help me stay where my brain's stimulated in a way where like life is feels like living. Like it feels good to get up and like, yeah, okay. Like, and I'm not thinking so much about, I'm not putting a lot of thought into like, oh, I wish I had somewhere else to be. I wish I could be somewhere else. Oh, I'm tired of just sitting here at the trailer. Well, it's kind of what it is. It's like, if I'm here and this is what I have, then what can I do with where I'm at and what I got to do? Like, might not be a lot, but it just depends, Make the best out of every situation if I can. I have a Discord as well. I'd absolutely join someday if you wanted. Yeah, I don't have I've got a disc. I hadn't created a Discord. I just joined, like, I have an account now. And so I'm a part of a couple of Discords. I just haven't got around to, because it makes sense that I could do something like I could make one, like I could go in there and do more detail on my profile and all that, and then I guess create a Discord for my channel. I just haven't got around to thinking about it too much. Like I joined it through, there's a Friendship Forge group on X that I'm a part of. They have a Discord, so I went into there. I was like, I found real quick the Discord, like I don't have the notifications on. I don't keep them on because like just being a part of two different Discords, I was getting like, now of course the Godfo universe, they don't like put a whole lot. It's not like a bunch every day, but I was just like, man, I can't, like, I wasn't trying to keep up with everything that every single part of the Discord is getting going. Like, I figured it's something like if sometime after certain, certain times jump over there and find a conversation maybe, but I just haven't done it much lately. Right. Yeah. It would be interesting to start one though, like, because I could do little segments like the other people that I see doing, like, have a segment where something just with music, something for, comic books and shit like that I like to talk about or whatever, and open it up for anybody to share. Also, could make one whole thing, just about shit like I'm talking about today, like life and God and like destiny or whatever the hell, like different, like deep subjects. It just seems like once I get to that point, I want to be able to. If I'm going to do something like that for myself, I want to be able to maintain it. Like, I don't want to just do it and then like it be like something I'm just every once in a while doing. But I think some of those communities just take a life on their own too, don't they? Like, sometimes you don't have to do a lot. You set it up, you get everything going, and then people, if you invite people and they come in and they're into it, I guess the interactions and all that will just kind of naturally happen. See, all of a sudden I started thinking, man, I must be sounding boring as hell, and it's like, but it's not about all that either. So yeah, the undiscovered self, the dark night of the soul, and in between, I've been reading. Like, I'm going to have to try to, like, between now and next week, I'm trying to read a certain amount. I don't know how many comic books I have that I need to read. It's not like I counted them, but thanks, yeah, man, good stuff. But there's been enough that's come in since I got paid last, like just in the past week and a half or two. Like, I ordered some stuff and then it's all came in within the my last, like, so it's kind of piled up and I'm slowly going through things, but I don't want to rush anything either, because a while back I had some comics and stuff that I'd ordered, and like I'd go through these phases where like I'd read everything in a day, and so I like to let it back up a little bit, but then once I get to a certain point, I'm like, okay, I need to kind of catch up before I think about. I've done really good this month on money wise, like as far as I didn't spend a whole lot on too much of anything frivolous. And like I fell off the wagon for about 3 days, but I didn't stay on it. I mean, I didn't stay off, so I didn't like continue to like drink up a big portion of my. Because like that's what happens for me is like even if I'm doing good, sometimes if I choose to drink, and then I go on like a spurge of like a whole week. By the time that week's over, it's like because I've chose to do that, it's also like hampered my decision making on spending other things like spending more. Like if I choose to drink, then I'm liable to spend more money on like eating out rather than cooking. Like just spending money because I'm not thinking properly. Plus, spending money on the alcohol is not a good thing for me. But this, this channel's not about like I'm not. You've never heard me preach to anybody about because I'm just speaking for myself. I struggle with shit. And anybody that's watched the channel any length of time knows that. But I'm happy to be able to say I'm feeling pretty good right now in life, and just taking it kind of one moment at a time. Like oh wait, someone called. Okay, I'll check that in a minute. They left a message. It's from the orthopedic. I hope it's not them calling to cancel or anything. See, today's Friday. My appointment's on Tuesday. It might be like just one of those before the weekend. They're doing some phone calls for any appointments coming up next week. I don't think it's anything for me to I don't need to end the stream to just check that voicemail. Like I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It's just going to be a reminder that I have an appointment Tuesday. It's either that or they need me to call them, and because I've been worried that I might owe them some money, and if they see that, they might be like, "Well, you owe us money, and we turned it over to a collect." Like from a few years ago when I broke my arm. Yeah. So, when you said you stream 24/7, does that mean like, do you have a stream set up where like even when you're not there, there's like a camera on something? Because some people do have stuff like that. Uh, whether it be something outside or like now, like Ghosty don't do it 24/7, but she has on her streams. It's usually a camera out back, and it's looking at the sunflowers and the birds and stuff. Oh, okay, I got you. Right, like so. Is that because? Well, I mean, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know what. Of course, you could come on here if you wanted. I just was trying to figure out how I could do it privately without them. But yeah, okay, that's what I was going to say. Like, some people have that, and is that because like if you've built up a certain audience, there's a certain amount of people that at any time of day, no matter what you're doing, they might want to check in and just look because they're interested in whatever the hell you got the camera pointed at. Like or is it also to just keep it open so like the community can come in there and be in the chat and communicate with each other whether you're there or not? That's almost like a thing I wonder. I think because like sometimes I go and I see people that there's like a dude that I subscribe to. I haven't watched him in a while, but he does a stream like every evening and like falls asleep on the stream, and then at some point in the middle of the night the phone cuts off and I think the battery dies, but he just does a stream where he's talking to people and people are back and forth, and then he'll just end up falling asleep. Colton, I'm busy, dude. Don't be out in my yard looking in here. Sorry. The neighbor's grandson was out there staring at me, and I'm not trying to be rude, but I just don't feel like what was the point? I guess he hears me in here talking to somebody. That was cool. Maybe I was rude to him, but I just didn't care to have him standing there looking at me. And I don't really want to get into answering any questions right now or talking to him. Like it's nothing against him. Like I'm streaming and like I've done, Colton used to come over here and stuff, and I like Colton, but I just didn't feel like answering a question of about anything. If they're He's probably wondering what I'm doing because I'm in here talking. It sounds like I'm talking to myself probably. uh and then sometimes see like I feel like an asshole, but give me a second because like sometimes things catch me off guard and like I was like trying to make sure. It's no big deal. He's just outside, and then like my neighbor, there's a neighbor sitting on the porch outside on their porch. That's what it is. He probably heard because I got both doors open and my window open. Like he wasn't over there. He was like he was in the middle driveway or out here. Sometimes he'll be out here out back in these other people's yard. Because he's done that before. Anyway, I'm not going to worry about it. I didn't do anything wrong. I just kind of told him I didn't need, I'm busy. um, which would be different. Like, for one, I know that they wouldn't care and everything, but I don't want to, I wouldn't want to risk continuing to stream and him be there and me talking to him, or possibly if I wouldn't put him on camera or nothing unless they knew about it. You know what I mean? Like I wouldn't want to, and I wouldn't really want to have a whole long conversation or anything unless I first was like, hey, I'm doing a live stream and he's over here. I just letting y'all know. Because anytime that he's been over here and we would be like doing shit like painting rocks or whatever, because I collect toys or used to. Like if I was going to record any of it for the channel or something, like just to show people what was going on during the day, like, hey, me and my buddy Cody are painting rocks, or we're painting X's or something. I'd always make sure it was okay. Like I wouldn't like them just, even though like that threw me off for a minute too, because now, if he was told that was one thing that for a split second I almost wondered, did somebody send him over here to ask me something? But like if that was the case, he should have just said. But I don't know. Like if I was gonna have a setting where like a child is gonna be around, then I wouldn't have my pipe out, and I wouldn't be like, well, there was nothing else out. But you know what I'm saying? I'd put things up, and I'd be like more mindful of what I might say and all that kind of stuff. And plus, I don't know. So what time is 10:40? Okay. That's cool. I just had never thought, like, because like I'm just streaming to be streaming. I mean, part of it, well, not really, because I do like to connect with people. That's the main thing. It ain't just to be streaming. But at some point I realized streaming adds to my watch hours and stuff like that. And no, I'm not monetized. I'm not. If I was, it's not about whether I'm monetized or not. But I do know that the ability to reach people can increase, the more watch hours. Then there's other things and other options that are open up. Like I'm not caring about, like for instance, if I ever get to a point where like things are pushed out more, but if I ever get a certain amount of people that do watch me regularly on a stream, and at some point, having the abilities for super chats and stuff like that, but like learning it and doing it long enough to where like maybe got something going that's like somewhat entertaining on a regular basis, and there's enough people watching it where it's not just something you're just doing, but it's fun, it's creative, but it's also generating its own thing. Like not making like not making me rich or anything, but just if I ever can do anything creative that could generate its own amount of some type of income that goes back into it. Like when I played music and stuff in bands, that's kind of how it was. Like we all had jobs and shit, but we'd put money into it, and then at some point, the band would make a little bit off of what it was put into it, but then we would just reinvest that back in it. So it was like you kind of plant a seed, money, a little bit, and then so. But let's see. I guess that's why sometimes it's good if somebody's on there with you. See, I just didn't know. Like here lately, because I hadn't streamed in almost like if I hadn't streamed yesterday, today would have been 2 weeks the last time I streamed. And the last stream was a good stream. I might have streamed like once since then, but I don't remember. I don't think I did. But I know that Friday, the stream we had, Lady Ghost, she was on here from the channel, The Power of Why Compels Me. And then you had Self Destruct. And we had like about a 3-hour stream and conversation all over different spots, like from deep to some comics, like just kind of a wide range of stuff. So it was pretty cool. Several people were in the chat and listening and watching. That was really good too. It's just I find myself I'm finding myself find that streaming seems to work best for me if I just don't think about it too hard. You know what I mean? Like the whole time that I haven't been streaming since that last good stream, it's like I've been wanting to, but then like certain things happen and stuff, and I'm like, it's like if there's some sort of uneasiness for some reason, but sometimes I have to just let that go. Like after so many days of like him hauling around, sometimes it's just good to hit boom live, and just see who shows up. And I am on Restream, so tell you what. Let me check something real quick. Oh, damn it! Swillbilly, where are you at? Actually, are you? I was trying. Not that it meant you don't have to say specific, but I was thinking in either region wise or even if you did what state. I don't know. I was thinking using the South maybe, but I could be wrong. You might have told me once. I'm trying to remember if like just if I can remember an idea from any of the videos. I'm just trying to think. It really don't matter, to be honest. I don't know why. So see, it's about right now that I start getting a little see, I think I start like for some reason, I guess because I think it's because I'm thinking too hard. Like for some reason, all of a sudden, I'm like wondering, should I wrap this up here soon, or should I just keep going? It's only because I'm trying to determine what else would I like. For instance, yesterday, after since I streamed, and I did it for about an hour. When I ended, it was around this. I don't remember what time we ended yesterday, but I think it was between 10:30 and 11 or something. So I ended up wrapping something up, and then afterwards, I ended up taking my second walk, if I remember correctly, because I took an early walk. I streamed. I went a little over an hour, got off the stream, and then within a short amount of time, I went for a second walk. I almost went for a third. Like I'm trying to get a lot more. So that's enough. That is something I am thinking about. Is that I'm thinking about the possibility of where do I find myself and wrap this up. Go do some more physical activity than just walking, clearing my head, put the headphones on. I love to just like, even though it's like the same walk almost all the time, I just go, and sometimes I go a little further, sometimes a little shorter. Where like depending on what it's feeling like, because it ain't too hot or nothing just yet. I'm sure when I walk, it'll be nah, do your thing, bro. Don't worry about anything else. Oh, okay. So how are you feeling today, man? I'm feeling all right. That's what I was saying. Is, it's another good day so far, and all I can speak of is for the moment that I'm in. And so far, the string of moments that I've had since I consciously was like, okay, I'm starting the day, have not been so bad or whatever. They've been on point. And so I guess that's where my mind is. It's. I think I'm thinking in my head because yesterday I never did go back live. I didn't come back live. I did a live stream. It was just me, and like then I had said I might come on later, and it just kind of ended up where I don't know really what happened. I just kind of went through the day doing what I did. Like I said, I went for another walk. I did do quite a bit of different reading, but it was like broken up in different intervals. Like I'm doing it in spurts. I'm not just sitting down and reading for hours at a time, which would be good if I did. But I'm kind of reading little bits of different things at different times and trying to absorb it. And when it comes, if it's a comic, I'm trying to sit down and enjoy that. Like where some of the other stuff I'm reading is like more thought provoking. Oh yeah, definitely. I'm grateful to just be breathing and alive, So, um, so my question to myself right now is not because I'm not like I always question this before I start. It's like I wondered, was I starting too early? But then it's kind of like I said, the streams kind of work best if I just go with it. Like if it seems right, and even if it's I set it up 15 minutes ahead of time, I just kind of like roll with that. It's usually working out. You know, you never know. The way I figure is I kind of treat it as it's kind of therapy for me. So even if nobody was there or interacting, sometimes it's just nice to just put something on and just talk into the air. Like sometimes certain things just come out and are needed to be said out loud, whether there's an audience for it or not, like at the particular moment. Okay, hello, Alan. Thanks for being here for a minute. So, yeah, they're catching. You're dropping in right as I really don't know what I'm doing just yet, but we're right at an hour. Time doesn't really matter as far as for me. I have plenty of time to be streaming. It's just I was just debating out loud. Like I don't want to do the same thing I did yesterday, where I wrapped it up and then I didn't really ever come back to it. Like I think it would be good to stream today, but I was thinking, like if I'm wanting to stream and maybe like set it up where hopefully like with the intention of not having any kind of restraint on myself time wise, like knowing that, okay, I've took another walk. Okay, hey, I made a little something to eat or whatever the hell I need to do. Maybe I've done a little more reading and like had some more thinking going on. I was like, but it's hard for me sometimes. I'll like have that intention and then there'll be some kind of weirdness that'll keep me from wanting to do it later. Alan. Um, so really, y'all are just hearing me ramble on, and I'm kind of just debating out loud. Because sometimes it's like, sometimes you can kill something too quick. Like it can be something on the verge of like, you never know. That's what's fucking beautiful about doing a live stream, though. It's like especially one that's not like pre-planned and got all this other stuff thought out. I have no idea when I'm going live, other than that I just kind of going to start talking, and probably it's going to be about something that's going on at the current moment. But uh, uh, you uh, let's see. I'm trying to think of how I'm about to do something. Oh, hold on. I'm having to think and type. Let's see if I can do this. No, email me and then email me that. I mean, email me to there. I think that's right. It's Outlook. If you send me an email and say who and be like, hey, this and then I'll just email you back and I'll send you like that's usually how I connect first, and then I can give you like a more direct way to talk to me if you want to, so that like we can if we want to like I can. I was also trying to determine if I wanted to see if you wanted to come on right now. I could share the link in the chat, but I just a lot of times don't do that because I did that once, which was fine because like it was just somebody that is like a subscriber. They don't have a channel, but they had an account. Like they just came on to, but I was trying to determine like because I've already talked about how long I'm going to be on here, so I was kind of like I don't want to like invite somebody on if it's not going to be like very long or whatever. Like that's what I was also thinking about here for in just a little bit. Like maybe stop, take a little breather for a second, take a walk before it is too hot, like take a second walk, and then come back and try to collect my thoughts and see where I can what's going on there. Yeah, let me see if give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. No, yeah, I understand. I was speaking before you'd even said anything in the chat. I had almost, I was determining in my mind if I wanted to get to that point where I was about to maybe share the link and turn this into like something that we might be streaming for another hour, you know what I'm saying, or even longer or whatever. But at the same time, you already heard me debating on, like, I'm indecisive a lot. So it's kind of like, I would like to do something like that. It is Friday. You know, what else fucking else do I have to do other than I'm going to do a little reading and stuff like that. But if somebody's not doing anything in a little while, like my intention for this stream was just to see how it went and probably be solo for the most of it anyway. So, but I used Restream in case, you know, like if early on it was discussed and was like, yeah, fuck it, come on, you know, jump on. I've already rambled on a bunch and shit anyway, but I'd figure just email me and then I'll get back with you that way, and I'll send you a. Okay. Um. If you want to do something here in a little bit, like let me I'll email you back and everything first here in a minute. I don't know if I'll do it right away. No, I'll go ahead and try to email you right now. Uh, but I'm, or if you don't get an email right away, it's because I'm just gonna put my shoes on and just go walk first. Uh, and then after that, come back, cool down, and like figure out what it is to do. Okay. Well, I mean, like if you want to, like it don't have to even be today, but I might stream later myself. But when I get off of here, I'll here shortly. I'll look at the email. I'll send you uh, some information, and then we can just go from there. Cause like I'm all my calendar's always open, you know. Like it's just a lot of it's on how I'm feeling, and I might yeah, I'm gonna I'm gonna like try to process if I do something here in a little bit, I'm gonna think about how and what to when to set it up, what might be like an topic of discussion to begin with in the beginning, especially if there's anybody else that's particularly might be on there with me, whether that be you or Ghosty or Self Destruct or somebody like that. Because I know that it's kind of early still for some people, and a lot of times I don't. A lot of my streams I usually don't do till midday or later, or that's the way it used to be, you know. So let's figure that out. Let me do a little walking because walking helps me fine tune some of my thoughts for a minute. Then I come back and, like I said, roll with it. Hey, it's 11:11 right now. Good number. Okay, I'll hit you back in just a little bit. And anybody else watching, appreciate you watching. I'll probably be setting up another stream here in that'll be here in an hour or two or whatever from now. And Just be looking for that. Anybody that was seeing it, or if anybody's seeing this after the fact. You know what I'm saying? As soon as we get it set up, okay, it's 12 for you. Okay, so you're in the Eastern time zone. Good. Okay. I'm in Central. So, yeah, but we'll talk in just a little bit. I'll see you soon, and everybody ditto.